Who's this Jimmy? Who you talking about? Jimmy Witherspoon?
Nobody knew who he was.
Lewis.
Jimmy.
Who's this Jimmy?
Lewis.
Jimmy.
Who's this Jimmy?
Lewis.
Who's this Jimmy?
Lewis.
Who's this Jimmy?
Checking the mic right now. Oh, wow. That works. It's pretty good. Testing microphones here before the show. Got 45 seconds to go. That's all we need is an R-rated show.
It just kept on doing.
We don't have any sponsors right now. We're in kind of a lull. Okay, I gotta make sure I do this right. I'm clicking buttons right as we speak. Are you going to walk on the stage? Or you're actually
Live
be
from
here
Pahrump,
when we get
Nevada,
going?
the Valley of the Dirt People. It's Tech Talk, Taco Tuesday with your hosts, Jimmy Lewis and Logan Tyler.
Yeah, easy. Don't break the whole damn show.
Well, you got stuff behind here.
Okay, welcome to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. This is episode number 236, we think. Yeah. This could be a good one. It could be a mistake. Jerry Bernardo,
Hello,
microphone head.
Hello, Jimmy.
Yeah, you got to check your camera angles. We'll check your sound levels. I'll turn that one down, and then you're on the one that has the wire coming out of the back. And if you're on Instagrams watching us right now, we will. You're gonna have to go over to the YouTubes or the Facebooks because that's where we're live.
The YouTubes, the Facebook.
Yeah. It sounds like.
How does this one sound?
A creaky bed. You're gonna have to get a little closer to that guy.
Oh man,
You got to make it lower, actually.
low and slow.
So no technical.
I could hold it. I could be like, and then Father O'Hanahan snuck up from.
This is the show where we talk about motorcycle and motorcycle-related products. We answer your questions live on this show. We had a couple people on the Instagrams ask us some things. They wanted a new. They thought maybe Rhino was going to be on the show.
Ryan Hughes.
Fast Eddie 500 got it. He said Jerry.
Fast Eddie.
Fast Eddie.
My mind drifts back to a time, a special place. I do not know who he is. I plead the fifth.
TM Skiktik says he doesn't need a mic. I can hear him at my house.
Oh, bring it on.
Yeah.
You got to come in hot. Start swinging with the big bat.
Okay, Mad Moto Mike number 926 says, this is the perfect pod to listen to while I wash engine parts in my kitchen sink.
Just remember that solvents may or may not cause blood damage because lacquer thinner and such seeps into your pores. I know. I painted helmets for 17 years in a dingy basement in Hesperia, California. That's the 92345 for all you people that don't recognize. The high diesel.
Yep.
So yeah, be careful with the solvents, kid. Blood damage, it's no good.
Okay, so that's advice from Jerry. Stay away from the solvents, especially while you're listening to this show.
No, when you listen to the show, you can drink. Have a sip of that. Watch.
The solvent?
Watch Jimmy. See Jimmy drink.
So this is, everybody always wants to know what I'm having. I'm having Sincuro. We can get into this a little later. I'll get into it now, but we can get into this a little bit later. I watched videos on YouTube about like tequilas, like good tequilas and bad tequilas. It was like a tequila shootout, like you know how when I was at a magazine we do a shootout, we try to tell you which the best bike was.
Yes.
And I remember when I know that when we did the shootouts, they were all honest. They were the best ones. They were done properly. And then I'm watching these tequila shootouts and realizing that these guys are a bunch of hacks.
Do you realize that tequila right there in your hand is the #1 cartel-approved tequila in all of Mexico?
Really?
I just made that up.
So, okay. Moto X official says you're down with Moto Triple X.
I'm down with Moto Triple X?
Yeah. The real question is Moto Triple X down with fuck you?
Oh, yeah, no, me and Jordan are like this. This is me, this is Jordan. No, Jordan, one thing I love about Jordan Burns, that guy is a badass drummer. I don't care if he's in the band, he's not in the band. You put him behind a kit, that guy can drum like a mofo. I've seen him live a couple of times, and I used to play the drums a long time back, but he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So high five on that, Jordan.
Right on, Jordan. Good to see.
Friend of Scummy Morrison.
I used to see Jordan all the time at Supercross. That's how I got to know Jordan. We'd hang out in the press box.
It's official. I am down with Moto Triple X. What's
okay,
this, a
just
mirror?
Checking. Yeah, that's a mirror.
Yes, it is a mirror.
It's a double take mirror. I have a discount code for double take. If you want to email me, I could probably dish out a discount code. This is the old style one. But I use it to, do my grooming, which I don't do much of. But anyways. So welcome to Tech Talk, everybody. This is episode 536, brought to you by all the sponsors that are flashing up on the screen behind.
536. I asked
632?
you. No, 236.
Oh,
you
thanks,
said.
Jerry. Yeah.
Show 236.
Let's see. Milagro is on Mark Daniels' table. Mark has good taste in the tequila as well. And we're early. And JL
What?
and the Bernardo, yeah.
May I ask the question why you decided to jump the gun, pull the pin, jump the gate, come in hot early? Because there's people like Victor Andrade.
Who's not
who
here
goes,
right
No,
now?
like at 5 or 7, he's going to sit down and he's going to be ready to lock in.
He'll miss the best part of the show.
Exactly. He will miss the number one monologue.
If you did miss part of this show, you download the podcast because you don't really want to look at us except to see what shirts we're wearing.
That's good. That's good.
And nobody else has this one.
That was pretty slick.
Yeah. So they want to, but you listen to the podcast and you can dream about what shirts we're wearing.
Right, because you can't see anything.
And then you can hear what we said when you were too busy doing something that's
because a true
more important than
podcast
this.
is audio, like an old school radio station. But now everybody's podcast because everybody and his dog has a podcast, has video. So really, it's not audio. It's a fucking movie.
I heard that you don't do podcasts.
I have been on one true podcast when I lived in Australia. I was on Mix with Steve Masters over the phone, and that was the only time I was ever on a real podcast. But my good friend Jimmy Lewis, I have to put my arm around him.
Oh,
Of 35 years, I just picked that number.
all right. It's pretty.
He's
Close.
He's really the only one I've ever come on, whether it's a video or audio or whatever. Because Jimmy lets me be myself. He doesn't try and put a leash on me. Yank back. Tell me what I can say. Hang on. What I can't say.
I gave you show notes. You're supposed to stick to the script.
Okay, now that 10-point aerial letter style and my bad eyesight, nah, it's not.
Right.
It's not going to happen. I have my own show points.
Good. So, yeah, we're gonna get to the thing. Craig Albert wants you to go, Jerry. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Go, Jerry.
And do you know what NMF means?
NMF.
Yeah.
Wait.
NMF.
I know what MF means, but I
Yeah.
don't. No, motherfucker.
No, it's you got 100% NMF from no. If you don't know, you just don't know from Moto XXX official.
Well, fill me in. I'll add it to my vast vocabulary of words, being a professional wordsmith.
Not my friend.
Oh, so I'm not. So I've been denounced by the mighty Triple X.
That's a thing of honor. If you try to show off, you pull. You posted on Instagram and you're doing a big whip or something like that, or you're snowboarding and carving a thing, or you're drumming up a mean set, and
somebody goes,
you get
not my friend.
You got NMF'd, and
That's
so,
like in Australia. What they say is like if the guys you don't like him or whatever, you say to the other guy, you go, "He's your mate." It's like your mate. So I just got your mate.
That's good. If Jordan NMF'd you, it's good. There's a few of us that throw that around. It's a special meaning.
I have Kevlar skin, so it's you can't really rattle me with typing. You got to come in hot.
Doing a quick. So we're signing off with the Insta grams. What is there? Instagrams.
I like when you call it the Instagram.
Yeah. You have to go. I'm 100% NMF. See, look. Yeah. So.
And I gave a drumming compliment.
Oh,
That's a full paradiddle for those drummers out there.
Paradiddle?
Paradiddle and tap flam.
Okay, so Jordan, we'll see you over on the other thingamajigger, the YouTubes.
And tell Scummy to back it down on the promotion. God, is that kid selling stuff? I don't know.
Okay, so we're disconnecting from the we're ending that stream, and we're gonna share it somehow when I get time. You like playing with Pistons?
No, I was just wondering.
What is that out of, Jerry?
This looks like it's out of a big ass KTM.
So those comments are correct.
With a very shallow piston that doesn't need that much. So I'm saying maybe like an adventure bike. I know that's vague, but
well, no, it's kind of the bike's done a little bit of everything. So it's out of my KTM 500 EXC, and Mark Daniels conveniently asks, "What is the outcome of the 500 EXCF rattle?" It was piston slap. So this piston has 12,000 miles on it. It was Jim's bike.
Yeah.
You sold me another junker.
Jim sat
Another
across
junker.
from us. Jim over there sat across from us when we were at the off-road Hall of Fame event. Very scripted, lots of reading. And Jimmy won a really big award. Of all the people, I think there was 12 people that got inducted into the Off-Road Hall of Fame this year. 11 of them were four-wheel drive people. And Jimmy Lewis, to my right, was the only motorcycle person. So take that and suck it. Let me ask you this. This is a stupid question.
No, there's no such thing as a
Okay.
stupid question on this show.
Here is a piston on the right that looks like, to me, because I'm not really very mechanically inclined per se, tall. This is very shallow. What is the basic in blue collar terms? Why did they go to this much shallower, and why is that what I'm used to looking at?
So two things. You were holding one 4-stroke piston and one 2-stroke piston.
Okay.
So the 2-stroke piston has to be, well, it doesn't have to be, but by design they are longer because the piston actually closes off ports.
Yeah.
So it needs to keep ports sealed up because it doesn't have valves up at the top. Like the 4-stroke piston has these indents at the top where the valves will go down, and that's where the air and gas fuel come in and out. Well, in the 2-stroke, it's going down in the crankcase and then blowing back up, and so the larger, longer skirts and even these holes in the side actually help channel the fuel into the proper locations. But
Now I'm sorry that I asked, and I didn't write any of that down, but that was very technical. This should be a show about
motorcycle related products.
related information.
You want to read? Can we get you to start a thing that I want to do in the show? I think everybody should have to read a page out of your book.
No, I don't think so, because night terrors are really running rampant in the high desert, especially around the gateway to Lucerne, Bear Valley.
Let me get back to so this piston was out of that 500. It marks so that it was piston slap because I put it back together. I wrote it. It's quiet now. It's no longer making that high load knocking noise, and so the piston was basically, when it was going up, it was kind of doing rocking, and making bad noises. And so I put a new piston in there, and sound went away, and I'm now happy. So time to go ride that sucker.
You know, it's funny because, I seriously didn't know the reason why they had different depths. And I'm smart enough to throw myself under the bus when I don't know something. And what is a question? It's not a stupid question if you don't ask it.
No.
Right?
Yeah, you that's how you learn. And part of this, there's a part of this show is that, I don't think there's stupid questions. I think there's a lot of different questions that have, like somebody who doesn't know, and like where else are you gonna ask them? Because you ask your buddies and they might give you a hard time. I tell people, tell your friends to ask stupid motorcycle questions. Tell them to come onto the show and ask the question there, and we'll answer it. Even if it seems pretty naive or novice. So, and also, the longer ones are 2-stroke. 4-stroke pistons used to be longer, back in the day. But as we got more and more high performance and different lengths of strokes and different crank angles and all this stuff, they were able to, because this is all friction.
Piston slap, lengths of strokes. Now we're talking about me in my room when I was 15 years old in West Roxbury, Massachusetts. How do you think I got that, buddy?
Give us
just turn away, okay?
Utah Desert Racer. Gene, you're going to come and talk about the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame.
Sure.
I'll do it for you if you don't want to. He's camera shy.
He is. He came on the show before.
Tell them the reason they use that little short piston is because they can use a shorter rod,
Yep.
increase the piston speed. So when you use a short rod to come down to bottom dead center,
Oh.
the piston has to be short to clear the crankshaft.
That's true too.
Huh?
Yep. Short
I only
rod.
know about bold new graphics.
Yeah. So I don't know if you could hear that, but we did. So the questions are coming in hot. But a Utah Desert Racer wants to know, Jerry, give us your take on KTM going bankrupt. Please, Kimosabi.
This is my honest answer. I don't really know in depth why KTM is going bankrupt, because they sell all sorts of motorcycles, but I have always wondered, and no disrespect to their business model or the product or anything, because I've owned KTMs, but there's so many different models, so many different bikes for so many different applications. It's like simple term, In-N-Out Burger, been around forever, right?
Yep.
In-N-Out Burger, the menu, it's like this big. Everything's great. They don't change nothing. Everybody loves it. Place is always packed. KTM made this, all these different bikes. So
They made red ones.
yeah,
they made
and then
white ones.
Yeah,
and
then they, tell all the dealers that they got to load up in their showroom and whatnot. And it wasn't just because of COVID. Times are tough. People aren't just loaded. You know what I mean? Bikes are expensive. So maybe KTM went broke because they have too many bikes. I don't know. That's my answer.
Well, it's not the first time.
That was my honest answer, as a matter of fact.
Oh, really? Honesty?
Yeah.
That's good. So not the first time KTM's been bankrupt. I was a factory rider for KTM when they went bankrupt back in 1992. So I've been through this before.
Yep.
They seem like they'll be able to bounce back. I mean, when the product is that good, and in 1992 the product was not
As good as it is now.
Yeah, it wasn't as superior as it is now. And how they come back and which way. There's a lot of value, and I'm pretty sure there's some business stuff going on, and this is what I don't understand.
Right.
A lot of times it's just based on corporate law and taxing and stuff like that. You want to put your company at a certain debt position, and so there's probably some business stuff, and maybe they got the business stuff wrong.
Told you.
As opposed to the
No, that's true.
as opposed to the motorcycles. The motorcycle stuff seems to like it's going in a pretty good direction. Maybe they got a little bit carried away with some of the stuff they bought, and I know there's other companies that wanted a big stake of them, or had debt to them, and they didn't want to sell it. So I don't know. I don't think it's really that good for the industry in general. But hey, it's not just KTM. I just saw Arctic Cat.
They laid off like 60 people in
up in Minnesota.
Yep.
And there's some Japanese manufacturers that are struggling a little bit. Not just motorcycles, but a lot of things that are power sports right now, and stuff like this.
And after the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame event, Gene's probably going to fire me.
Oh, really?
Even though I donate my time, so that's kind of kooky. I don't know why I would do that. Who works for free? But it is a nonprofit organization, 501c3.
Hey, you could always start a podcast.
Hey, wait, Jimmy, look. I told you Victor Andrade was going to rock up at 7 o'clock. Hey, Jerry, ¿cómo está, fratello? ¿Qué onda, hermano mío?
He's doing Italian on you?
He did Italian, so I did Spanish back.
Good. Okay.
I was going to say something else that I learned, but...
Yeah, let's see. The two Pistons skirts should have been a trivia question. Hey, a new idea for the show, a trivia question. That'd be like the most original thing we'd ever do.
Start your own show. I'm just kidding. That's a great idea. We should have a trivia question. Why don't you type us one?
That would require... You saw all the planning I did for this show. Hold on, let me do some more planning for this show.
I was too busy fishing around in the back where all his gear is. It looks like somebody threw a hand grenade in there. I've dubbed it the room of 1,000 enduro coats. In the summer, you go in there, c'è un puzzo qui, which is Italian for stinky.
In that room?
No, I've never seen it before. You have quite a lot of gear.
I do gear testing, and then I do photo
There's
modeling.
no excuse for your obsessions.
I do all kinds of stuff.
There's no excuse for your obsessions.
That's why I don't have children. That'd be the room you'd lock your children into when they were bad.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Lewis. I ride dirt bikes. Sometimes I play dress up. Deal with it.
I just dress up and go away. So anyways.
What do you like better, drinking tequila or riding dirt bikes?
Dirt bikes.
I knew the answer, but I just wanted to put it out there.
Well, I'm going to start a tequila podcast too. That's after I watch the YouTube things. I'll go do the tequila tasting.
Jared Bolton from the GNCC. If Gene fires the Prez, I'll put him to work on the GNCC track crew. Well, I hope Rita has a lot of nitroglycerin in her pocketbook, buddy.
Yeah. So let's see.
Jared Bolton is a card-carrying member of the GTBN.
He had a Husaberg 570 for a while too. I don't know if he still does.
What is the significance of the bell?
Anytime you say Husaberg, you have to ting the bell.
Wasn't Mark a factory Husaberg rider?
Yeah.
Mark Bonnell, the man, the myth.
So
where's our trivia question?
We already answered it. Why is this microphone here? I got to get this thing
What do you think about Cody Webb moving to Yamaha? I think Cody Webb could ride a frickin' scooter and make it work. I don't care what color the bike is. Me personally, I think Cody Webb might have moved to Yamaha because of KTM's bumps in the road. Financial distress with Orange.
He was Sherco.
I was almost done, and then you could have had your space.
No, I got a good question for this. I mean, it's a comment.
So now he's moving to Yamaha. Yamaha's always made a badass motorcycle, so Cody Webb's just gnar.com. I think Cody should do what he wants to do. Kick ass, take names, cash checks, kiss bitches, spray champagne, you know.
You know who else went to Yamaha?
Tell me.
Caleb Russell.
Caleb Russell came out of the doldrums. What is he, like 6-time GNCC champion? He was like just sitting around the house with the wife and
I think
kids.
eight times.
Eight times. I could be wrong. Jared will correct us.
Retired out as a champion.
And he decided he wanted to come back because, sitting around the house, making popcorn with the kids. It's not as fun as roosting someone.
Right.
Hucking them with a Michelin S12 big knob, throwing a little rock about as big as a black tennis ball at him.
LG Rocks has a question.
Let's hear it, LG.
You want to read it, or is that too far for those old eyes?
Is it on the top?
That's in the middle.
Okay, wait a sec. LG Rocks. 2022 Beta 200RR.
Great bike.
While they're doing a top end, I want to check the crank seals while the engine is out of the bike. How long should the crankcase hold pressure while doing the leak down test? That was stressful for me in my eyesight, but I powered through.
Yeah, you've got it. It's almost as good as Logan. Remember that guy?
Wow, thanks, buddy. There's a pat on the back with a dagger. Logan.
I don't know. You know, I've never been.
How long should the crankcase hold pressure while doing the leak down test?
Usually they leak right away.
Do they?
I mean, they slowly leak, but I mean, it should hold pressure right away. But I've never actually known exactly how long it's supposed to hold, like in a because it's going to go past. I'm thinking like, okay, you're going to plug everything up. Where is it going to go? It's going to go out the. Where's it going to go? It's going to go past the things you're sealing it up with usually. But then crank seals and stuff. But I've never been a big fan of leak down tests. I usually knew what the problem was. I mean, so the crank seals, like if your bike pops, does these two strokes that they do loud pops, like when they're high RPM, that's generally the crank seals like letting air in and making these popping sounds. And I haven't seen crank seals go bad that often lately. I mean, back in the 80s, that was a thing. But man, it's so rare these days. But if the transmission side, like the clutch cover side, is leaking oil, or if the crank seal's leaking, generally it's sucking oil in there. And you're going to have a lot of excess smoke, and it's going to smell different than what your normal two-stroke oil does. And if it's leaking on the ignition side, that's where you get that pop from, the kind of, we'll call it that lean pop. And generally, there's on the ignition side, if your crank seal's bad, there's some residue. You can see it, but I don't know the answer to the question. But Gene does.
6 to 8 psi.
Yep.
Pressurized at 6 to 8
6 to 8 psi.
Watch the pressure drop over a 5 or 10 minute period.
Yeah, that's
Say if it's leaking.
yeah.
Gino's a veritable fountain of information, mate.
So 6 to 8 psi. Watch the pressure drop over a 5 to 10 minute period.
See how patient I was, and I turned sideways and I stared into Jimmy's eyes and actually feigned that I was interested in the answer to the question. And I needed to know that. My life wouldn't continue to move forward until I knew about a leak down test.
Did you write the comments on?
Did who write what comments on what?
Like this comment right here. Candy Sofax says. You're going to read that.
You want me to read that?
I want you to read that.
Jimmy always asking the guest questions, then cutting them off when they start to answer.
What do you have to say
there's
about
a thing in television called blocking, when there's 4 people on camera and they're all standing at a little angle, 2 here, 1 here, 1, so you can see all 4 of them. That's called blocking in television. Jimmy, insofar as the back and forth dialogue, I speak, you speak, I speak, you speak, that's called audio blocking. It's not really called that. I just made it up. Jimmy, he does not know this yet, because this is Jimmy's show. And if Jimmy wants to talk, he's going to talk. That's like when you
I have
watch
nothing to say.
when you watch shows and they talk over each other. Like I talk to my little sister on the phone and she always talks over me, and I get pissy. And I'm not even hungry. I'm not hangry yet. And I'm like, I was going to tell you, but you have to stop talking so I can answer you. Jimmy,
Victor is either drunk or they changed the hour again. He's talking about what time we started the show.
Victor, in your defense, my hermano, he said, let's start at 6:30. You were the first name that popped into my brain. I said, why are you going to jump the gun, pull the pin, start a half hour early? Because true hardcore aficionados of TTTTT are going to be rocking up with a drink at 5 of 7, like you. And you got juked on the deal because Jimmy had a premature monologuization.
Right. Let's see.
Look at yourself. Now how do you feel? Oops.
If Gene fires the okay, I lost my
You're
place on
reading
the thing. Yeah.
questions.
The crank seal is why I'm taking apart my Husaberg right now. Well, a 2-stroke Husaberg, Michael, or a 4-stroke Husaberg?
Victor told me to tell you hello. Gene is in the peanut gallery. He's shy. He had face surgery over his whole body. It's quite a mess. Looks like somebody sneezed on him with spaghetti bolognese. He's really not camera friendly, so bear with him. But he's right there.
Hey, Jared still has the Berg, too.
Jared?
Have you ever ridden a Husaberg?
No, I did when Tommy Norton came out, when we did the last trail ride in, who lent me a Husaberg? I have ridden a Husaberg. No, I know. Here it is. Tommy Norton and Husaberg. Those are the 2 parts I needed. When I went back for the FAQ Racing 30th anniversary party in Weston, Massachusetts, I rode Tommy's son's Husaberg, and it was awesome. They had it set up great.
Tommy Norton of Blackwater 100.
Tommy
fame.
Norton, the East Coast Vice President of FAQ Racing, Blackwater 100 winner, the only person to ever win the Blackwater 100 on a 125, a KTM 125, and he is now still the reigning, most winning small bore bike rider in the GNCC. Oh,
Better than Watts.
Watsy's a badass on a small bike.
Yeah,
I remember him.
Watsy rode everything.
We were doing television, and we were out in the middle of nowhere at a test, and they were coming out of the woods and through this sloppy, wet stuff. And here comes Watsy just screaming on this bike, just wah, and he seen me. He pointed right at me and then turned and tried to roost me. He tried to roost me while he was working. It was funny.
So Michael's Husaberg is a 2-stroke 250, a 2014 model. So those, over time, it's KTM. It's basically the KTM 2-stroke motor. So over time, those seals can go bad. I'm thinking if you've got the engine out, split the damn cases. Just split the cases and pop new crank seals in. It's that simple. It's easy to do. That's what I would do.
Can we talk about the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame event that's coming up soon?
Yeah. You want to hold my plaque up?
I will in a minute. First, I have to do my intro. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know anything about the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, but it's a non-profit organization set up by the CEO and legend, Gene Woods. It is a motorcycle industry group, and it is also a small motorcycle museum at the go-kart track in Las Vegas on Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, number 171. See, I'm a fountain of information. And every year we have a gala festival, an event, a banquet of sorts, minus the banquet part and minus the part that makes you go, 4 hours, what the fuck? It's just a get-together. And on February 5th, We are working with the Mecum auction that is being held on the same weekend as the Mecum motorcycle. February 1st, sorry.
Don't interrupt.
That was my no, that's good. That was my one mistake because I was saying a lot of words at once. So, thank you, Gene. February 1st, in unison with the Mecum motorcycle auctions this year, every Hot Shoe Hall of Fame member gets a free entrance into the Mecum auctions and a bidder's pass. So, that's a cash thing. You have to pay to do that, but Gene hooked it up, super connected. And it's 1,000 people in a room bench racing. Does everybody get to come up and get their plaque? Wait, here's Jimmy Lewis's plaque because he's an HOF inductee. Hang on. Right there, Jimmy Lewis.
It's hard to do it backwards like that.
No, I just want to make sure I hold it still so nobody vibrates too much. That's Jimmy Lewis. And, it's not like the regular, everybody comes up, everybody gets on the mic, you get your plaque, da-da-da. It's just you show up, your plaques are over there, you go pick it up, we all hang out. It's get a chance to see your best friends, people you never seen. We're inducting new people all the time. This year, we will be inducting Scott Ford of Scott's Steering Stabilizers, Robbie Peterson, multi-time hill climbing champion, lots of people. Fred Host, ISDE wizard, he's going to be there on location. So if you want to hang out, it's free. It's free, and we give away free sandwiches sponsored by Daylin Woods of Woods Family Sandwiches, voted top 10 sandwich shop in all of Nevada. So, it's just a win-win. You're not going to get bored. It's going to be fun. We have a 2-hour block of interviews. Terry Ike Clanton breaks the ice and does the first hour of interviews. And then, you guessed it, I go up there and try not to say fuck too much. And we interview people, have fun, tell stories. And Jimmy, we had a pro celebrity go-kart race last year, and you were the winner. You could see the plaque up over his shoulder, pointing to the plaque.
I'm not very good at... Is there a plaque up there for that?
Yeah, there's a
go-kart
plaque.
thing?
Jimmy won last year, so he has to defend his number one plate at the go-kart championship, and you have to be an inductee to race. It's a good time. It's a lot of fun. So if
I'm
you're
not even
around,
that good at go-karts.
if
Right,
you're
Gene?
around at February 1st, please come to Fremont Street and hang out with us. It's about 4 hours at best if you want to hang out. 6 o'clock to about 10, but only 2 hours of talking on the microphone. Have I missed anything other than the fact that I blew the date?
Join the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, it's free.
Yeah.
Join the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. It's free. Come on, free food. What other banquet do you go to that you don't have to pay?
You can show up early and drive go-karts, and you can also show up late and drive go-karts.
Do you know how much it costs to go to the Trailblazers banquet?
Oh,
I do.
all of
That's an expensive plate of chicken.
All of
Okay,
them are
that's all I'm saying about that.
We're not trying to have a Hall of Fame shootout.
No, we're not. I'm just, I just read the news as it has been printed.
Yeah.
Okay, take it away.
I'm going to be there.
I am.
Yeah. You're doing the interviews.
Yep, I will.
Got it. It's good times. Are you competing in the go-kart race?
I am not. I will be working.
Good. Do we need to talk
Are
about
you
what,
only-
we need to talk about what happened on Sunday?
That's really up to you. I'm not a flag waver.
Really?
But if you want to mention what happened the other day when you were training,
So Jerry told me I needed to start training, and so I showed up down there. We were putting in our laps. We were doing our work,
putting in the work.
and
It's a drift track, so it's very slippery.
super slippery. The lap times have gone from 10 seconds when they opened up, and we were doing
Average fast guy, and I'm just throwing this out here, if you're cutting a 21, a 20, you're clipping right along.
So we managed to get in the 19-second range.
We?
We did.
We?
Me and you. Yours was 18.8, and my best was 19.2. I was really disappointed because you were walking away. You're very patient. You didn't spin me. Very patient,
I'm
Jerry.
not violent.
Yeah, and then you just started walking away, and nothing I can do. I wanted to blame the cart, but I was a bigger man.
And then, Gene, guess what? Tell us about, even though you're off mic, then what happened? We went into your office.
Take this thing and turn this thing around.
Gene, tell us what happened. We went into your office, and you have a program that does what?
We went into the office and we have a program that
You could sit in that chair right there. Don't be afraid. It's
You'll be off camera because of the horrible scarring.
we went into the office and we have a program that monitors everything that happens at the go-kart track, everybody's times, everybody's scores. And I ran the thing back a year just out of curiosity to see what the times were. And the top time for the entire year was Jerry, that he set about 2.5, 3 months ago.
17.488. But the track's getting shinier
The
and
track's getting slipperier and slipperier.
And so the
as we
times,
go, yeah.
so the times are going up. But I didn't even know that I've been holding the fast lap time for a whole year. Jimmy started to weep like a little bitch. It was pretty funny. I had to hug
None
him.
of us knew that.
we didn't know, but I turned a burner of a lap in at the I don't even know how I did it. It was mostly luck at the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame thing last year. I had a couple laps and one of them I knew was really good. You can tell, you can feel it. And sure enough, I got my lap time chart. It's over there on the wall, by the way.
It's his next tattoo.
And so I was like, I'm like, I knew that was a good time. But what really, what I know what happened is, I wish we could have seen how many laps we've all done. Because I like to see the hours that Jerry put in. Because mine was in, what was it, February 1st or something last year, whenever thing. Jerry's was on like the 15th. So he obviously saw that time, and I gave him a goal.
I've probably ridden at the track how many times this year? Maybe 8.
Yeah, I would say a half a dozen to
Yeah, maybe
most.
8 times. I only ride when my good friends come into town. Because everybody comes to Las Vegas.
Yeah. Tracy McKissick says no girls
No girls where? This is a vague question. No girls.
on the show.
It's open-ended. No girls, question mark. That could mean a myriad of things.
I got to ring the bell for her right here. I'm reading the Tracy. I'm just reading it. Motorsports says he sold his beautiful 570. He said he never would, and he lied. He says ring the bell for her. There you go. So that's a girl. So that's Tracy.
Tracy, you're allowed to have a follow-up question because no girls, question mark. It's very. It's misleading to me.
I wonder if she's talking about Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, and that would be incorrect.
No, we do have a lot of girls.
Yeah, there's a lot of girls in there.
There is.
Yeah.
Yep. We welcome everyone.
Yeah. So yeah, there'll be girls. You're going to have a lot of girls there.
We have showgirls there.
Showgirls.
Right.
That's what we call our motorcycles, showgirls. Yeah. So
Robbie Peterson's going to bring one of his hill climb bikes and put it on stage.
Yeah, she's asking. She's
cool.
asking in the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame.
No, there is females inducted into the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame.
Sue Fish, Marcia Holly.
Mary
The
McGee.
list goes on. Mary McGee.
Yep.
There's a huge list of famous women.
Yeah.
Doesn't it make you nervous to know that there's 3 people on the show and one refuses to be on camera, like he has something to hide? You didn't shoot like a CEO this week, did you?
Maybe.
Okay. How was that, Jimmy? See how I did that? That's pop culture.
Edgy humor with a time-based stamp that we try to keep out of these shows.
That's involved with fireworks.
So for fuck's sake, Jerry mentioned names, no chicks on the kissed. Yeah, she's typing too fast. No,
I just rattled a couple off the top of my head.
There's a delay, is what it is. Right now, there's a delay, and she's catching lists. There we go. She caught herself. It's good. That spell check's always important to me too. Hey, Tracy, you'd be way better off asking motorcycle or motorcycle product related questions, and that's why we're going to go to the question that is right here. Oh boy, where did it go? I had all my questions lined up. And it seems like something funky. Wait, maybe they're on this screen.
Where's Logan when you need him to press the buttons, Mud?
Okay, here we go. Got a question. Steve Griezeux from Steve.
Steve G.
Steve G says, "Hi, Jimmy." Now can you do the rest of that?
It's too long. I can squint it out if you want, but
oh, really? It's going to hurt your eyes. I'll go ahead. And
I can try.
Just say the first part for me.
Okay,
Just makes me feel
let me
good
see
about
how I
myself.
go before I buckle, because I really do. My eyes are foot.
I wonder if I can make it bigger. Hold on, let me see. I know how to push some buttons and make things happen.
Shift plus.
Look at that. Look at that, Jerry. Okay, I got to make that thing go away.
Okay. Love the show. Usually wait for the pod, the late night listening. A good buddy of mine has a 2022 Yamaha YZ250 FX, which stalls frequently coming off idle. Starting is also a bit of a hit and miss affair, but less worrisome than the stalling. The stalls most frequently occur when moving off and when exiting slow corners. Do I need to fix my friend, or can the bike be tuned to solve the problem? Question mark. He had a period. I'm checking for typos too. If the bike can be tweaked, everything can be tweaked. This is the high desert. If the bike can be tweaked, is the Power Tuner app the way to go, or there are maps already that you know of addressing this issue? Or is this a throttle body related situation? I told him to buy a Husaberg like I did, but here we go.
Steve, good on you for recommending. But no, we're all about the Blue Crew. Yamaha, sponsor of the show, has been a sponsor of the show. I hope they continue sponsoring the show. We're not sponsored tonight. That's why you're.
That's why I'm on?
Yeah.
I'm putting a call into Bob Starr.
That's good. So, the 22 YZ250F, I just raced one of those. I don't race motorcycle. I did my one race a year.
Answer his question. Don't make it about you.
I want to talk. Don't cut me off while I'm trying to do an answer, Jerry.
That was an attempt at humor.
That's good.
Go, Jimmy. Go, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Not that Jimmy. Jimmy.
So I had a YZ250 FX and it didn't stall. Only mod I did to it is I put an FMFQ on it, and I did some tuning with the Power Tuner app. So the answer is you can do a lot with the Power Tuner app. And you might need to fix your friend. I don't know. What are friends like? How do you get those?
Well,
and can you fix them?
I just Venmo Gene once a month.
That's good. So the bike can be tuned a little bit, and so email me like you just did. I will send you in this email. I'll send you a map that I want you to try and see if it, or give it to your buddy. The Power Tuner app is amazing. What it can do for something that's free, comes with the bike. You just and generally you add a little bit of fuel at the lower RPM and take a little bit of ignition away, and at the low RPM stuff, and it will help. But that is a very light flywheel motorcycle, a high performance light flywheel motorcycle. So it could be a 50-50 where they're, especially when it's kind of coming out of slow turns and stuff like that, you might just need to drop it down a gear, get comfortable running a little more RPM. There could be just not good with the clutch, the little things like this. So there's probably a lot of stuff, unless I watched the guy ride and kind of heard how it was stalling. I can't tell you exactly, but Power Tuner definitely helps with that. But I don't think it's a throttle body related situation or a problem with the bike. Husaberg could. No, I can't solve. I can't say it because the Yamaha is a sponsor show. There's no way I can say anything bad about the Yamaha. So even though it's a Husaberg, it's the YZ250 FX is better.
Most certainly, hands down, 100%, 1,000%.
Season's best to mine and yours.
Season's
So
best
Steve,
to
yeah.
you and yours. Happy Christmas, like they say in London.
Yeah, Steve. So
Happy Christmas, fam. In it.
yeah, the reason I run the Q muffler on that bike is because it puts a little bit more back pressure, and it doesn't. It actually, for me, it helps up on the top end. The bottom, it does help a little bit. It seems to be less prone to stalling, and my wife really notices that. I'm going to send you the map I made for Heather. Actually, it was for a WR250, but they're the same. I made a map because she was having some of the same issues. So there, I have that.
Of the
map.
many issues that Jimmy's wife has, a map was one of them.
She's like a factory rider.
She's awesome. Your wife's the best.
Yeah,
I went to your wife's birthday party
that was pretty cool. Huh?
behind your back, and guess who was there when I showed up? You. That sucked.
Yeah.
That backfired.
Okay.
Is this
So-
Jimmy 2? Jimmy 1? Jimmy 2.
Yeah. So Tracy has a question. What does that sun cloud button on my Nada do? And then she corrected and says beta, and then she used the F word, Jerry. I think you and her should probably, you want her to send pics?
I think Tracy should send in a submission to the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, and we'll all look at it in the administration board, and she very well might be able to make the cut.
So the sun cloud button, it changes the ignition curves on your Beta. And so it's the sun one is typically for most riders a more aggressive map, like when the traction is better and the rain, or I think it's actually the blue light comes on when you push it. That's the low traction map, so slippery map, and you can change the curve. The funny thing about that is I actually feel that I like when the traction is good, I like the cloud map. And then when it's dry out and it's a little bit slippery, I actually run the sun map, which is it kind of makes sense, but it's the opposite of what you would think, but it's based on where kind of the bike picks up. And then I also do a little bit of power valve tuning in conjunction with those maps to get it. And Gronk, VSB, says he calls it the snowflake mode. Gronk, be nice to the ladies here. We're going to get in trouble. So, we should step right into another segment of the show. We have a segment on this show. It's called Roost or Endo.
I'm in the last 10 minutes of my work here, so I just want you to
Brought
know
to you by
use me
Taco
accordingly.
Moto. Yeah.
Roost or Endo, brought to you by Taco Moto, logo by...
Oh, Jerry Bernardo. JB Black. How do people find you if they want you to do a logo?
They don't, because I don't want to be found.
Okay, so what you do...
I changed my name from my true name to JB Black on Facebook, and my buddy goes, change it back. Now nobody can find you, Justin. And I said, I don't fucking want to be found.
So
I have you, and I have Gene. What more friends do I need? Okay, maybe Victor and Jared Bolton, only because they're listening, so I'm sucking up.
So...
What, no women? Oh, I love women. Let me tell you a story. Why'd Gene just turn red?
Yeah.
Tracy, send in your submission.
So
That's all I have to say.
You send the money. Yeah, go to Hot Shoe Hall of Fame.
HotShoeHof.com.
HotShoeHof.com.
Yeah.
And if you know someone that's a badass in the motorcycle industry, has done something great in the world of motorcycles, or is just cool, send in their submission. The inductee button is in the top right tab, and we'll have a geese. Have a look. Have a squiz. Little Aussie slang there. We'll have a bloody geese, mate.
Yep. And Tracy's mad now because Gronk called her a snowflake.
Yeah, well, don't worry, Tracy, because Gronk, he's been in second gear all day long.
He's one of those people from Canada. They live underground.
Okay, Roost or Endo. This is the...
Brought to you by Taco Moto.
Brought to you by Taco Moto. You send in a picture of your motorcycle, and Jimmy looks at it, and he analyzes it, and if the background's cool, too, he will tell you whether that bike roosts or endos. Endo meaning over the bars, like someone we know.
So, let me find there we go. There.
I have 9 minutes left, and then I have to leave for surgery.
No, we're good. So, Michael Cox...
He's got
Cox sent in
his
his. You want to do the handcuff thing?
I told you I have enough friends already. I don't need those. Did he?
So Michael Cox built this bike as a single track for forest roads, 2-track, and single track in the Pacific Northwest. A lot of tracks. My favorite place to ride is in Moab, Utah. And he says this bike is not for sale. And it has all this stuff. It's resprung, and you're looking at it on the screen. He committed one of the
worst atrocities,
the cardinal sins of Roost or Endo.
Submission photos.
Your make and model. He didn't give us your make and model, so we have to guess. Because now everybody's like wondering what this is. I'm going to start telling you all this stuff about this bike, and we don't
go
even
to
know.
The end and see if it's
not there.
Oh, it isn't.
Yeah, it's the thing. So
that could be grounds for an automatic disqualification.
Well, unfortunately, we only have 2 submissions.
Okay, what year is that bike?
It's been a little slow. That is a. I'm gonna guess, and the chat will pick this up.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, come on, you get thrown under the bus. Give it a shot.
20. 2019 KTM 500 EXC is what I'm seeing. I think that's what I'm seeing.
Are you going to read this whole vast list? You should, because you only have 2 submissions.
No, I don't want to waste our precious time with our 8 more minutes now and counting.
It's down to 6.5. Pick a couple of bullet points that stick out to you.
Respun with Slavens and Evo Oregon symmetrical converted Explorer 4.
Taco Moto.
You know what that means? Yeah, 3,000 hour pump, Taco motor, 225 hour filter. So he's got his gas tank. Gene, do you know anything about this? These fuel pump problems on KTM's.
I heard that they have an issue if you let them sit for a long time.
Uh-huh.
You know what I was thinking too?
Yeah.
What if I ran the thing out of fuel, ran it completely low? Does
Nah.
that fuel pump cool with the fuel?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, they all do to a certain extent. So you ran it completely
I
low?
ran it out.
They're
ran it
talking
out.
about Gene's KTM 300.
That's why they're here. I actually hijacked them
Not why we're here.
from Vegas.
I see Seat Concepts, our good friend Lyndon Smith.
Yep.
Seat Concepts, comfort seats, best seats in the business.
It's desmogged, it's reeds removed, it's recluse clutch dampers, Baja Designs XL Pro headlight. I was going to wear my Baja Designs beanie tonight because I need to call Tex and get something. Moto Minded Bomber start-stop switch. I just put one of those on my bike because I had a start-stop switch fail. Dango, I always talk about myself, don't I, Jerry?
Giant
Gotta
loop
stop it.
tail rack.
Yeah. Let's see. Lots of things. Enduro Engineering, this and that. KTM. Bulletproof chain guide protector. That's a smart move.
Because Bulletproof is a sponsor of the show.
Yep.
See how I knew that?
But it's really...
See when he does that? See? I'm listening.
Giant loop tail mount, ram mount.
Okay, so Mike, you
Tusk
didn't tell us
Recon-
make, year, and model. So we read the list. It's pretty much a typing faux pas to not tell us what it is.
Well, I'm looking at the photo, and it looks like a beautiful place. It does kind of look like Moab, where
Yeah,
it says
no,
his
it's
favorite
nice.
thing. Nice looking, like, he actually has the bike in the right direction with the light and stuff, It actually,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
light's using it.
Very Joe Bonello of him.
And then he turns the handlebars away. And to me, that's like when your cat kind of, I know it's supposed to be affectionate when your cat shows you your butthole. But
When he turned the handlebars away, so he's either got like a questionable sticker on the number plate.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be a rainbow
Yeah.
flag sticker. Could be
Hey, sometimes they're trying to hide
Wiener
the front,
Schnitzel.
sometimes they're trying to hide the front disc protector. You never know.
Hmm.
But when you're buying all that stuff from Taco Moto, that's good. You can also use the discount code.
Okay, what is the discount?
I don't
code?
have one.
All right, so what? Let me ask you, Jimmy, straight up.
If I say
Does
discount
this bike
code,
Roost
people will
or
start
Endo?
emailing.
Roost or Endo?
I've got like 4 of those, but with less stuff on them, so it endos.
Womp, womp.
Yeah, what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff on it. It doesn't mean it doesn't need the stuff. It doesn't mean it does. I'd have to ride a bike to know whether it Roost or Endos.
You can't just go on the picture.
No, I can't scratch and sniff it. Nothing. It sucks.
Yeah.
Hate that about dirt bike photos.
Okay. So
I want that
what
Del
do you,
Rey steak.
You have to.
Oh, are you asking me whether I think it Roost or Endos?
Yes. Yeah. You're part of this thing. Gene, what
I'm
do you
gonna
think?
give him Roost.
You're going with Roost.
I would say Endo. If he had the bars turned the other way and gave you the year of the bike,
Yeah. Okay.
different story.
Yeah. Different story. Okay.
I'm a rebel.
So we've got Michael, your bike endos. I wonder if I like it when they're in the chat so they can
Wait.
defend themselves.
But thanks for sending it in nonetheless.
Yeah. Let's see. It's a 2019 500 EXCF, says Mark Daniels. Let's see. Oh, and Jared.
Wait, just real quick. Line number 2. You got to read that from Tracy.
SoCal Des, cloudy for this old girl. Fuck that. I'm knit a snowflake Gen Z. Not. She's
See?
got a little typing pro. Yeah.
She's piping up. I like that. Show him what you got, kid.
No comment.
Never back down.
2020 for sure. The 19 still had the previous generation body style, but probably a 500 EXC. Good. Tracy says, doesn't want you to see the green bar. The novice. The desert novice bar. Yeah, good one.
Touche, Tracy.
Okay, so we have another one. This is Connor Steele's Roost or Endo. I will.
Oh,
switch-
look, make and model, 2019 Honda CRF 450X.
There we go. It's up on the screen.
Custom rally tower, normal 5.5 gallon tank IMS, course enduro pegs, Yoshimura mufflers, Recluse manual clutch, AHM tuned and sprung suspension, AHM linkage, Tusk hard terrain. What's that? My eyes are
Tires.
fuck, dude.
Tires.
Michelin mousses, and of course, our good friend Scott Forward, Scott steering stabilizer, the Dominator.
It's got a couple more lines there for you, Jerry.
200 plus hours on this bike and it's still going strong. Ride red, get head.
There we go, Connor.
That's sexual.
Is it?
You know, it's funny. I keep scratching my nose because I got the allergy thing, but it makes me think that people think I'm like, you know, and with that, and
You did that earlier. You could
but
snort,
you know what?
You could snort some tequila.
When you
it's
got a
bad for you,
beak
too.
like this, I've been itching my nose for like 3 weeks. I hate it.
You think he itches that front rally tower thing on that bike?
That thing looks like an upside down guillotine. You hit a G out, you're going to be a goddamn Pez dispenser, rock'em sock'em robot. Seriously, look at that. That's a death weapon. That's something out of Mad Max.
It's a wing mount base off an Indy car. It looks like.
A wing mount base. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at that thing there. Oh wait, that's the wrong thing. I gotta push the buttons. I used to have somebody that pushed my buttons, but
Is it just me or does that thing on the front look heavy?
it does look heavy. Here we go. We're gonna take a closer look at that thing. Gonna analyze.
If I had that bike-
he's got the lightning holes. On the
If I had that bike, I would be in Mexico, and the only thing I would carry inside that metal container on the front is human organs. No, seriously. I'd bomb back and forth, hospital to hospital, trying to sell whatever I got.
I can't tell if that's like a plastic sheet on the front or.
Oh, it does look like a little bit. The sides look metal.
It's like a vice clamp. It's pinching onto the frame. You can see how it like kind of rolls back. You know, sometimes you just do what you got.
It's funny because if you're going fast and turning right and left, I wonder how much excess weight's out there. You know what I mean?
it's probably not that heavy.
No.
It's probably just some.
That's bloody titanium, mate.
So, okay. I like this bike for the fact that the guy's trying to do some rally. He's got the big tank. Everything about this bike is a giant mistake.
I like this guy. Everything about this bike is a giant mistake.
He started with there's so much more stuff available for some other brand bikes. This is the same problem I have. Like, I want to turn my Yamaha into a rally bike.
Why did you make it about you? What about poor guy? With
I'm going
to
get there. I'm trying to give him a lesson here. It's you could just go get a KTM and then all the stuff just bolts right on. You don't have to fabricate any of this crazy stuff. But I guess he wants to get the head. And it has dual mufflers.
How's the engine? How's the bike stand? Did you even notice that?
Not until right now. I was going to talk about myself again.
All right, we're on a podcast. So, what is the bike stand, Jimmy?
Are those 4x4s or 6x6s?
No, 6 4x4s.
6 4x4s stacked up.
I told you he was running body parts in Mexico.
Not even bolted together.
Jimmy too. What do you think? It kind of gives you a splinter in your brain, doesn't it?
He's got his rainbow sticker on though. Look at the speaking of your rainbows, Jerry. Is that a rainbow sticker? Kind of like a rainbow sticker. Yeah.
No.
So I think this bike Roost. This guy did it the hard way. Good for.
I give him Roost just because of the bike stand. He's a lumberjack.
I mean, this bike comes with a kickstand? Just put it on the kickstand, or maybe it would. Maybe then the handlebars would turn away and the bike would be disrespecting me. But those tanks are behemoths.
Yes.
Kendall had one of those, and his was
fill
was
that thing
older
to
one.
the top and take it to San Felipe Woods.
6. It's 5.5, but they kind of stretch out, and you can get 6 out of them. So I think I'm gonna go with Roost. Hey, when you're buying those Tusk tires over there at Rocky Mountain, click through our link at dirtbiketest.com. And guess what? Dirtbiketest.com now it works. A couple weeks ago, our website was dead for a little while, so they had to extort me for some more money to pay for the bandwidth.
Pass me the shoe. This will be my farewell pitch.
Okay.
Please.
There's a shoe. Hold it up to the camera.
I will.
Be nice.
In line with the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame's ongoing generosity, part of being a nonprofit organization is we generously donate pairs of shoes to people in need, homeless people. This is called a heart shoe because it was from the heart of the motorcycle industry. You can't see the little logo, but it's a logo that says heart shoe. And Gene bought a bunch of pairs, and we take them and give them to homeless people. A couple of weeks ago, we went to the tunnels. You know about the tunnels.
I know the
There's
tunnels.
over 1,000 people that live in the tunnels under Las Vegas, and we went there and we gave away about 50 pairs of shoes. And then we followed that up less than a week later. We went to a church in the really kind of like not the best part of downtown Las Vegas, and there was a lot of people there. We worked with a buddy from the church in Kingman, Pastor Bob. They give out hot dogs all the time down there, and we rocked up with the truck and gave out about 75 more pair of shoes to very desperate people in need, and it was a warm welcome, and that's part of the things we do at the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame.
And you would have given away 100 shoes, but you scared half of them away.
Let me finish my pitch, because I'm trying to be heartfelt right now. And being a nonprofit organization, we work off donations, so if anybody wants to donate, go on to hotshoe.com and follow the directions to please donate so we can replenish our stock of shoes, because the more we give away, the less we have, and we want to continue on doing this work and filling the void that some people have fallen under hard times. And, you know, I drive around the middle of Las Vegas. It's 116 degrees. I'm going to the gym. I'm like, that guy doesn't have any shoes on. And it breaks your heart.
Yeah.
Seriously. And I keep some in my trunk.
Yeah.
Like I've pulled over and just go, what size are you? And the guy says a size. And I go, well, I got this. And, you know, you just
Is that video you guys up still on the Hall of Fame website where you're giving away? We played it on the show like last time you here.
We have a new one up now.
And there's a new one up there.
Yeah, my buddy Chris Williams from Entity Media, Tucson, Arizona, donated his time to do some editing. We shot some video. Everything's short and sweet. And when you see the people holding up the shoes, you just look and go like, you know, we're very lucky. That's all I have to say.
It never hurts to do something nice for somebody.
Yep.
And our running club, we run in those tunnels every once in a while. We'll go down there and take them batteries and different things like this, and so it's I mean, definitely some people, you know, they've fallen hard times, and it doesn't hurt to do something. It does. You definitely do feel a lot better after you've given away some stuff like this.
Difference.
So
can I ask you one quick question?
Me? You want to know about me?
No, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
What are you, Scott Harden, all of a sudden? You want to know about me?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was going to ask.
Can I go now?
No.
Oh, fuck.
No, we still haven't picked the winner of Roost or Endo. And Tracy says he's got wood.
Who's got wood?
The guy with the stand.
Oh.
You went.
No, I was like, for a second there, I was like, what?
You know, you can.
Tracy's on top of her game tonight. She should win Roost or Endo. That's what I have to say.
Victor says, kudos to Jerry and Gino for doing Hot Shoe program. You guys are awesome. That's the first sensible, nice thing that Victor's ever said in the comments in the entire history of this show. So yeah, you guys did strike.
Look at his other thing he said. Is that a fleshlight carrier on the front of that bike? Only Victor would know what a fleshlight is. I'm only laughing because it sounds funny. I have no idea what a fleshlight is. Jimmy too? Do you?
What?
I told him my eyesight was bad. He said he'd get me a fleshlight.
Which one wins Roost or Endo? Mark Daniel says the Honda wins. What does Jerry think?
I say the guy with the 4x4s.
Yep. Gene?
No, absolutely. Anybody that has that much guts to post a picture like that of their motorcycle has to win.
Yeah, I agree.
What does he win?
$100 gift certificate. Gift
Yeah.
certificate from Taco Moto.
There you go.
That's tacomoto.co. So Connor, it's Connor, right? Yep, Connor Steele.
no
you
relation
win.
to Cameron Steele.
Probably not. You never know, though.
Cameron might want to adopt him, though,
So
if he'll like or subscribe.
send me back an email, and I'll respond back to you, or I'll try to remember. You know, I've been about a week late replying to the Roost or Endo recipient winners, but Mike's been taking care of them over there at Taco Moto. So if you need some parts for your bike, and maybe he could get the beginnings of a rally tower on that, a kickstand even. So let's see. The Honda's flow-blown Roost hands-down winner bike stand for style points, says Ryan Jordan. Thank you. Yes, Ryan. I do agree with that. So that was unanimous. That was easy. Yeah. So if you send your photo in, there's a pretty good chance you'll. We had 2 this week. It's up from 1 last week. So you could be a winner. Jerry's book, Coffee Brewed with a Graveyard Mist.
Coffee brewed with graveyard mist. I'm not going to tell you where you can buy it, because if you read this, you're probably going to jump off the roof. But it has a cool cover by Tim Beaumont, my fellow artist that also helps me design things. What is in the book? Nightmares, okay? If you can write this many nightmares, you've taken acid. I never have, but
So
that's I have 3 books now. Did you know that? My other book is Romantic Napalm, and the newest one is called Blood Sculpture. And this is, I'm not talking shit. These are actually.
they're on the Amazons.
I wasn't going to tell anybody that.
Because they click through my link.
They'll be scarred for life.
They'll click through the link. It's
I'm
okay.
not trying to sell books, because I just want to look at the pictures and read it myself. Can I go now?
No. We're gonna find out. Let's find out a little bit about Jerry. How did everybody wants to know? Like they want to know what this.
I don't see that question
this
here.
de-
Let's find out
this
about Jerry.
This Death Cult Club motorcycle gang that you orchestrate.
Fuck you racing.
Right.
What about it?
How did it start?
In 1986, I lived in a small town in Massachusetts called Bellingham, Massachusetts, 02019. And we had a dirt bike club. We were a bunch of dirt balls, like seriously. And we actually called it Bellingham Dirt Ball Dirt Bikers. And then I was watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and they were driving away, the back of a car, and they were driving away. The shot was the car, and it drove away. And I looked at the license plate, and the license plate said FAHQ. And I thought to myself, you know, Jerry, that's a good name for a dirt bike club. That'll really shake the tree, like Cool Hand Luke. And since then, which has been 37 years, for those that are good at math like Gene, it has been the Faki racing regime, but we've kind of nicknamed the moniker for more people that need PC, like the AMA, my best friends in the whole world. The GTBN, the good team with a bad name. And we sponsor a club team over at the ISDE. This is the 4th year in a row. We just finished up competing in Spain with Jaden Donners, Leighton Smale, and Jack Walker. And they went over and finished 2nd out of 124 club teams. The year before, Jaden was on the team. There was 2 other guys. They finished 2nd. The year before that, they finished 4th. And the year before that, they finished 7th. So we've never finished out of the top 10. So the GTBN, good team with bad name, is doing good things. And the boys are on fire. So I'm pretty stoked. I told them, too, I go, seriously, and I mean this, I don't care if you win. I care if you tried your best, you gave it 100%, and you get back on the plane with no crutches. Did you have fun? We had a blast. That's all that matters.
So
And thanks to Jeff DeBell, who was number 5 at Fuck You Racing, for all his help. Because seriously, he's really instrumental in the forward movement of the club. And he does a lot of things. He's raised a lot of money for the boys, too. So thanks to him, even though he's not listening, because he's probably passed out in Beaumont, Texas, just like out of control, sucking on a sofa cushion.
So you started with your dirtbag hair scrambles friends.
We rode hair scrambles under the Netra banner, New England Trail Riders, Rocks, Roots, and Ruts. Tommy Norton is the East Coast vice president, and Scott Welty is the West Coast vice president. How can you have 2 vice presidents? Because I make the rules. That's why.
Got it.
Jimmy Lewis is the Nevada rep of FAQ Racing.
Yeah, you know how you get a sticker.
If you ride dirt bikes with Jimmy, he might give you a FAQ chapter sticker.
Yeah, I trade them with people. Like there's a little bit of trading that's going on. I'll get envelopes will come with a couple stickers, and people will request a couple back, so you can get them that way.
Prostitutes?
Stickers.
Oh.
Yeah, they're down.
Do you trade
the prostitutes are down the street.
Oh, yeah, in the tunnels.
Hey, you know what? There's a couple of the girls down the street that have them on their little clear bags. Not kidding. Yeah, they rep.
I plead the fifth. Gene, I refuse to drag you into this sordid conversation right now. Do you have any closing questions about La Squadra FAQ de Minera, the regime known as? I'll tell you a quick funny story, super short. In the light of the tragic passing of our Lord and Savior, Malcolm Smith, who was the man, he just recently died. The first time Malcolm Smith ever heard about FAQ, and this is true, Tommy Norton and I were riding a hare scramble in Connecticut, but we weren't following the rules. We didn't even have any timekeeping equipment. We were hare scrambling the shit out of this place, and we'd be running into all the checks, burning them left and right. And the people that are writing everything down, they're looking at the numbers and they're like, what the hell? And we're yelling, burn, baby, burn. We got into this one check, and Malcolm was out at the check in the middle of the woods, and me and Tommy are yelling, fuck you. And I remember talking to Malcolm about it one time. He goes, the first time I ever heard about fuck you was when I was at that check at that Netra Enduro, and you and Tommy came in there and you were just screaming fuck you. And I was like, who are these guys? I think we finished on we rolled in, we were on minute 32. We rocked up on minute 1, and they're just like, rule breakers.
Sounds typical.
Yep.
Yep.
That was my Malcolm story.
Right. You could always tell them about the spinning, the lamp, the ceiling fan in Puerto Nuevo.
Porto Maldonado.
Porto Maldonado. Is
In
that what
1996 at the Incas Rally, Jimmy and I were roommates when we rode the Incas Rally. And guess who won? Jimmy Lewis and Arnaldo Nicoli won the rally. First overall. Chris Smith and I, my teammate, we got second.
How come your roommate wouldn't stay with you in the room? How come they put you in
I don't
my
know.
room?
Bill Baroth put all the rooms together, and he stuck me with you. Maybe he was trying to get you back for something. I don't know. All I know is the whole place was just nothing but little mini bikes, motorcycles, rickshaws. I think I saw 3 4-wheel drive vehicles in 3 days in that town. It was just, like this guy I go by, no helmet, wife's on the back, side saddle, total baby infant, no helmet on the baby, and they're just, everybody's going every which way. Remember?
Vaguely. No, I remember it. You know what may have caused me to start drinking?
Rooming with me in 1996.
Yeah, I didn't drink back then, did I?
Well, look, we've made it this far.
Uh-huh.
Grumpy old men.
Yeah, maybe you'll make me quit.
Can I leave now?
Do you have any other stories for us? Can you leave?
Does anybody have a question for me?
Yeah,
I'll take one last question. I'll take one last question.
Otherwise, if Jerry leaves, I'm just going to talk about myself, and our viewership will just drop down the tank. Tracy's going to see you this weekend. She's already made plans. She's going to be in Vegas.
Tracy, come to Las Vegas, and I will take you to the go-kart track, and I will pay for your go-kart rides, and we'll just tear it up. And if you go under a 19-2, which is Jimmy Lewis's score the other day, you will automatically be inducted into the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. Gene's over there with his head. He's like,
I'll surrender my plaque. I don't know.
Hey, you got to give her a shot. She rides. She's playing the game.
She's from the high des.
She's got a good sense of humor.
She probably wants the shirt right off your back.
That's fine. I'll give it to her. I don't give a shit. They always take everything I got anyhow.
So okay, I was gonna go
Hence
look
the book.
See, we had a couple questions that I wanted to check in and make sure we answered all the questions on our YouTube videos. Carolina,
Just get one of them old vaudeville hooks.
Carolina Shart says, I currently have a 2017 350 SX set up for Woods GNCC riding and been wanting something new. I was considering to trade for a newer RMZ. Do you have any thoughts or suggestions in helping me make a decision? Jerry?
I was talking to Gene. I wasn't even paying attention.
You're supposed to be the
Is this the
guest
question
hostess.
for me or you?
It's about riding a Suzuki.
It's
Oh. See the one time I rode a Suzuki? Right there.
oh,
Cougar Buttes.
you're an amputee?
I smashed my fingertip off in the rocks riding with Larry Rossler's ex-sister-in-law.
Liz?
No, Vicky.
Oh, Vicky. That was his wife. No, Liz was his wife.
Liz was
Oh,
his
that's
wife.
right. Yeah,
Vicky
yeah.
was my girlfriend. She had the number one plate in the desert, District 37, women's number one, 2 years in a row
Right.
on her Kawasaki.
I was
And
racing
she
back
could
then.
lift an XR 650.
Yep.
Yep.
Gene crashed my 650 and it landed on, was burning his leg, and Vicky jumped off her bike and picked it up and saved his life. He almost burned his penis. That was kind of like my Scottish accent, Jimmy, too.
Got it.
Fucking bloody hell, he almost burned his penis.
Let's see. Oregon Riders Oregon says they better not start holding bikes on the rev limiter in amateur races. I wouldn't let them do that to my 4-stroke. He's talking about sound tests now. And then ISDE rules don't let you warm up your bike. Okay.
Do you want to hear another short story?
Is this the joke?
No, it's true.
Okay.
Okay, so Jaden Donos was racing for the GTBN over in Spain this year, and there's not a lot of time between the checks or whatnot. He goes like, we were on the gas. The trail pace was tough. The trail was tough this year. And he goes, you don't always have a lot of time to stop and piss. So he goes, I'm riding along with Jack Walker. We're bombing along. And I got to piss. So I waved Jack in front. This is a true story. I waved Jack in front of me. He's riding along. He kind of half stands up and he's fiddling around. He's trying to get his stuff out so he can pee while he's riding down the road. So he gets it going, and, you know, you got to concentrate to get the flow, trying to make this easy. He did his deal, and then he's trying to pack everything away. So he had to kind of stand up. He's got no hands. He's standing on the pegs, no hands. He looks up, and there's some aggro washboard ahead of him. He goes, bro, no lie. I did the biggest frickin' tank slapper. Didn't have my hands on the handlebars. The bike goes, he almost ate shit. And the whole time he goes, I'm thinking, oh, this is great. It was like day 5. Yeah. He goes, I'm going to crash out of the 6 days because I was taking a piss while riding. That's the story.
He didn't have enough time to stop?
Apparently not, or I don't know.
Was that tight of a time schedule?
He didn't have one of them little cool things that Cameron wears when he races his trophy trucks. His little, with the and the zzz.
Johnny Campbell could just wee his pants.
Scott Summers used to pee every time the national anthem was being played at the GNCCs. I'm like, why would you pee your pants? He goes, every time I could piss as much as I wanted to, and I still always had to piss again. He goes, so when the national anthem's playing, no. Then I'm probably peeing my pants. And I'm like, thanks for sharing, bro.
That was a trigger. Oh, boy.
You said you wanted to hear a story.
Yeah.
And then you got a bonus story.
Oh, yeah?
Tracy.
You know when this... I won't say it. I was going to talk about myself, but you got me now so
You had just
self-conscious.
officially bit your tongue for the first time in the history of the world.
I'll wait till you go and I'll tell everybody the story.
Does
It'd
that
be a
mean I
good
could
story.
go now?
No. No, it's because there's a guy here on the internets that wants to know. Kevin Collins wants to know. He says that this is a generally helpful group, this EXC and FE Performance and Tech Talk. And we're part of the Tech Talk of this. He's worried about his bike running hot. And he's got this big, long post. And
That's not a post, that's a diatribe.
he's got 128 people that wanted to help him out. So I was thinking that we wouldn't.
You know what you should probably do? I mean, with the length of typing that I'm seeing right here,
Right.
that doesn't mean it's not a solid inquiry. But I think that you should set this aside and you should really dig into it and give it a heartfelt reply. Because, you know, if you're trying to get it happening real quick on the podcast, you need to, think about it and listen to the kid. Give him a shot. Help him out.
I generally do that on this show.
Okay, read the last paragraph. See how he winds it up.
Apologies for
For
the
the
long
long
post, and I genuinely appreciate anyone who read it all and has good feedback.
Right, that's what I'm saying. No offense to the length of it, because obviously
Yeah.
there's some information in there that needs to be explained in detail. But we're on a short time frame, and you have all the time in the world because you don't do anything all day except sit around and watch TV.
Sometimes,
dirt
yeah,
bikes.
yeah, I do that.
So
TV
you could
watching.
read this later. Promise him you read it later, and you'll get back to him and tell him. He said Taco Moto right there.
Yeah.
Sponsor of the show.
2 final questions. Has anyone out there removed the reeds and replaced the tail cap and not reflashed or replaced the ECU? So the answer is yes. Lots of people have done that. I leave the reeds in and I switch the muffler on my bike because it runs cooler, which is what he's actually trying to get it to do. I leave the reeds in because it has better torque and drivability at the low end, and I'm running the stock ECU. And he says, if the ECU adjusts to atmospheric pressures, why wouldn't it adjust to those changes as well? Is that for our Facebook post?
I don't know. You're supposed to take one selfie a day so you can commit suicide tonight.
Remember, send that one to me, and I'll make sure I put that.
I don't
in.
condone suicide in any way.
I'll
shape, or form.
send you. I sent you the lap time sheet that you were so fond of. Did you get that? The one from the Gene. Remember? Did you get that? Victor texted me during the show. I wonder what Victor has to say that he can't say. Oh Jesus! He's a fan. He's a fan. If you would have emailed that to me, Victor, I would put that on the screen. So,
is that a picture of me working with Doug Frankie, my longtime cameraman and brother from another mother, in his ESPN2 T-shirt, and I'm pinching his butt?
that's exactly what it is.
Oh, okay.
So,
Why Victor has something like that at his fingertips, disposal, is beyond me.
I don't know. Maybe he's doing. Let's see. Tracy's. Who won the Danag 100? The Danag 100.
You should ask Ron the question that I asked you to help me with, Ron, and tell Ron.
I got to talk to Ron.
We would like to induct Ron Lawson into the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. So, Ron, if you're available, Jimmy wants to talk to you about filling out your bio and sending in a picture, and we will be happy to not even think about it and immediately punch his table, induct you into the 2025 Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, and we would like you to come to the event on February 1st, Fremont Street, Las Vegas, Nevada. Jimmy Lewis will be there defending his go-kart championship with a ripping score of 19-2.
Tracy says she's not from the High Des, by the way.
That's all right. We don't need a home address. We have a tracker on your car.
Gronk says, you still good with the Cove 450 Rally, Jimmy? I just ordered mine. I'm getting it in May. Okay, this is where I'm curious. If I'm not good, what happens about your order? Do you get a refund? I'm good with it. I was good with it when I put the video up, and then I forgot everything about it. That's why
Here's
I
an
made the
even
video.
bigger question.
Yep.
When is KTM going to buy Covey?
They don't have any money.
They bought everything else. Maybe that's why they don't have any money.
Yeah. He raced a pro model at this year's Corduroy Enduro. Kicked ass, but I had fun. Oh, the bike kicked his ass. The bike was a loaner from the Canadian port, so I rode it like I stole it.
The Corduroy Enduro is a tough event.
Yes. Yeah, I always wanted to go try to do that. I had some invites to go up
Nick
there.
Farringer rode that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He had fun.
And Tracy, the tech question, why does my pit bike have a splash guard on the main jet? So, Tracy, not just your pit bike, but most motorcycles have a splash type guard, or the main jet is encapsulated in a place to where the gas can't easily escape if the bike goes into a 0G or a lateral G situation. They're trying to kind of trap the gas down there so that it doesn't like get air and then bog. You know, remember when bikes bogged when they had carburetors? Yeah. Even with those kind of things, but that's why it has a splash guard on the main jet. And don't call it a skirt.
Don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it a skirt. Okay, I think we've successfully answered most of the questions. It's 8 o'clock, Jerry. That means we've gone for an hour and a half. Best show you've ever done?
I'll have to defer to the I will have to defer to the audience. Jimmy too. What do you think?
Awesome.
What a suck up.
Yeah. He's from New York. He's scared of you guys from Boston.
No, it doesn't scare me. We get along fine with Boston. Boston and New York get along fine until you start wearing Yankees hats. Then we have a problem.
What's a Yankee?
What's a Yankee?
Yeah.
Jimmy, what's a Yankee? What's that? Don't you dare talk about Bill Buckner like that.
Gronk works at the shop where he bought it. If I change my mind, maybe I can get a Stark Varg that we sell also instead. Hey, you know what? I saw another comment.
Tracy said goodbye.
KJ Lindstead said, hey, the new factory street legal Varg, seen it? Just saying, since I just saw it. So there's a video. So Stark released another amazing, well-produced video where they're claiming the world. It's the most powerful enduro bike ever. Stark is only making powerful enduro bikes. I only got a little ways into it before I couldn't take it anymore. I literally could not take the
Lack of sound.
no, the sound was the problem, just the spewing out of like these just amazing claims. To their credit, they have brought out an 80 horsepower electric dirt bike. It wasn't 2 weeks after they announced it like they said it was going to be, and it did take a little while, just like when I first heard it. I go, it's going to take a little while for this to happen. So this new one, it's street legal. That's going to be easy to do, but boy, are they just throwing out all this stuff like you don't need this kind of license. You don't even need a motorcycle license to ride it and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, okay. Like they're really dancing the line between like trying to attract like a new, they want to attract a new user, but then appear super hardcore. And they I don't know, just sometimes you need to turn the volume down a little bit. Know what I mean?
One of those things. What's ballpark for one of those bikes?
That's probably $12,000.
12 grand.
I would think. I don't know. I haven't really, like I said, I haven't really looked at it. Those bikes seem to be amazing. I haven't ridden one because they wanted to tell us how to test it, and it was like,
so that's what Kamala spent all the money on. Yeah. Stark Vargs. Bitch.
So, anyways,
I heard she paid Lizzo $1.2 million for an endorsement.
I would have for 1.2. I might have been able to swing an endorsement.
Gene, you ready to go?
Are you warm now?
Huh?
You warm?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
Should we talk about Gene right now?
We can talk about him. Yeah, he's right here, so let's do it. You got something to say? And Gronk nearly puked watching the Star promo too. Good. I'm glad that you know, we us core motorcycle guys are on the same page with this stuff. But that's good. I want to ride one. I really do. I want to ride one like I would ride it.
That's a funny story at the bottom.
Don't. That's who wrote this thing. Says Jerry was a great entertainment back in 1994. Riding the B2V, he was riding with Larkin Wright. That's all I need to say.
No,
when
this is
the
a
rear
true
wheel
story.
came off Larkin's BMW. Not sure if he remembers that.
I do remember that. I was riding behind Larkin. He was on his BMW, and all of a sudden there was a poof of dust, and I thought he crashed. He didn't crash. All the lug nuts came off his
single-sided swing arm.
Single-sided, thank you. Very technical. Single-sided swing arm mounted rear wheel. The swing arm went into the ground. He fell over. The wheel goes blah, 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 laid on its side like a dead puppy. And I'm like, what the? We looked around and we found all the lug nuts. And we screwed them back in and we looked at each other, WTF times 2, and we rode away. True story. The wheel frickin' flew off. I don't know if he didn't have them tightened up. No lock. Wouldn't you put Loctite on that?
Yes.
Red or blue?
Blue.
Okay. So there you go.
You
Blue
know,
Loctite could have saved the day.
When I was being told that I was going to sign a factory BMW contract to ride the Boxer,
Yeah.
the kid who I was talking to, Oscar Gallardo, they were riding the single cylinder bikes, and I had no idea I was going to sign this contract, but they already knew that I was. And they're like, you ride the Boxer, and I'm like, I don't even know what they're talking about, because that's what you call that twin cylinder, the flat twin, called the Boxer motor. Yeah. He said, "Oh, I don't know about this bike. I ride it and the wheel passes me." That was the first thing I heard about the bike I was going to race in Dakar in the future. I don't know about this bike. I ride it and the wheel passes me. It was a big problem. I mean, when they were riding this thing, they're riding really hard. So I do know about the Loctite and how to torque them properly and all those things like that.
I remember swapping my XR 650 in the whoops. I was in front of Chris Blaze. We were riding along in the desert. And you know how when those things go, you can't just give it gas to straighten them out. It did the little step right, step left, step right, step left. When it stepped left, I was looking at my number plate, and I'm like, oh, this isn't going to be good. And yes, I crashed. And I was still rolling when Chris got up next to me, and I'm like, I'm all right, I'm all right. Guess what? I wasn't all right. I hurt my knee. When you're crashing an XR650 in the hoops, I'm sure anybody who has knows it's not really a picnic. Have you ever?
Crashed an XR650 in the hoops?
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's not a picnic, Jimmy. Let me tell you. There's my Tech Talk Taco information for you.
Okay.
The guy that rode an XR600 at the Incas Rally in Peru.
I rode a KLX 300.
Yeah, but you're the world's fastest slow bike rider and reigning Langtown champion.com.
At the time, yeah. So Clinton Rivers has a question about the Nora. So should I excuse you now so we can get into the deep technical talk?
Thank you for having me. I
Jerry,
appreciate all the love and affection that I didn't receive. And Tracy, you made my night. Seriously, thanks for playing along. I love it.
If it wasn't for Jerry, the show wouldn't have happened tonight. Or actually, if it wasn't for Gene, I did.
No. I only came over here to eat at Hell Hefe and had chili Colorado.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been
on
good.
camera shake.
Right on.
Thank you.
If
you want to come down to the go-kart track, I'll give you a couple of tips on how to go fast.
Here's your jacket. Thank you.
Oh, you didn't want to keep it? Keep it?
No, I'm good.
I got that at Formula One. You might need that for the ride home. It looked good on you. Sharp. We're just going to keep giving each other crap. This studio is going to be full of stuff by the time you get done with me.
I didn't get any crap. I just got crap.
Yeah.
I want to thank my assistant, Jimmy, too.
Yeah. So, Clinton, I'm going to go ahead and answer your question about the Nora. Nora 1000. I plan on riding either a 215 Husky 501 with a big tank and a fairing or my 2012 KTM 450 RFR. Had success on both podium amateurs in Sonora 2020 and 2023 Baja Rally. Is there a question? Like, you want to know which bike to ride? They'll both be fine. If you've had success on both, I would say whichever one you feel would be the easiest one to work on, and then you would have less stuff to do. Oh, where did Jerry go? Jerry went away, and you're watching the empty screen. How about that? I fixed it. Back on the screen. So yeah, Clinton, I would ride the one that's. I do most of my pre-riding of the course and stuff on a KTM 500 with a big ass tank, and that's about it. So that should work. And then Gronk says, I'm not an e-bike enthusiast, but I've assembled dozens of Vargs, and I do have to say they're well-built machines. 20,000 out the door in Canada. Sticker shock is real. Yeah, the bikes look good. From everything I can tell, they perform good. Just where do you charge them is the big question. At the tracks and stuff like this. So it's coming. Don't be surprised that the electric stuff is coming, and we'll just see how Stark handles what they're doing. It's a tough time right now in the motorcycle business, and which one would be preferred over the other at Nora? That's Clinton's asking the question again. It's 50-50 because we're not necessarily like a high-speed rally where you need all the capabilities of the rally bike, but it sure does help to have all that fuel. Then you don't have to worry at all. But we do kind of space our fueling so that you can do it with a 5-gallon tank on the 501. So no, it's not that long of a question. You should see some of the other ones we answer. So there we go with that. hopefully that answers your question. I think that was it for all of our questions. Connor, reach out to me for the Roost or Endo thing. I'm going back through the questions to see if there's anything that popped up and I missed. Jerry is just out of the room and he can't even text me. Did you block him in, Jim? Maybe? No. Oh no, he sent me the photo. I got the photo. So now we have a leader photo, so I don't have to take a picture of my cat and use that for this show. So, okay, and Gronk is telling you to ride the 501. So, if the chat doesn't answer your questions, maybe I will. There was a few other ones that I saw in the EXE group that I was going to get to answer, but Jerry came and then we got a little sidetracked and distracted, so I'd like to blame him. But yeah, prices on used bikes are insane right now, and used bikes are probably even better. So, and there was a question here where somebody was asking, he said he wanted to give something back. He learned a lot and he wanted to give something back. And I want to give something back too. 9 times out of 10, when I'm reading these questions and I'm seeing what people are posting about, they say, I just installed this and I'm having this problem. It's really simple. It's what you just installed. It's like, what was the last thing you touched on the motorcycle? And that's probably where the problem is going to be. I see this way too often. So, and then all the ones about how many hours, there's a lot. I have this many hours, and generally it's way too little to be even thinking about a teardown. I have this many hours on the bike, and I'm going to tear it down. Ask yourself, are you bouncing it off the rev limiter? If the answer is yes, then yes, you need to tear it down. And did you suck dirt through the air filter? If the answer is yes, then you need to tear it down. Or if you ran it out of oil or ran it low on oil, like low to the point where your oil really didn't lubricate things, yeah, then you need to tear it down. Otherwise, your bike will tell you when you need to tear it down. So this is my 400 and something hour KTM 500 piston here. It still measures pretty close. The ring is in spec. The compression ring is really good. The oil ring's a little bit sharp. We talked about this with Chris Reel on the show last week, but it wasn't burning any oil. The piston was a little bit loose when you measured it. It was kind of at the end of its range there. And I'll tell you what, this bike was not losing power, or it had been losing power so slowly I didn't notice it. But now I've got that new piston in, and guess what? It got more power. And so this was making a noise. It told me to tear it down. If the bike gets hard to start, that's generally a sign something's going wrong with the valves and things like that. I've got a KTM 300 two-stroke that has 80 or 90 hard hours on it, and it's telling me, based on the piston rattle, it's telling me it's time to take it apart. And maybe, like I said, maybe you don't have that kind of feel or that sense with your ear, but pay attention to it, and over time you will learn this stuff. But the manual is a really great tool to see when the lawyers want you to tear it apart, and then you can start talking to people that really do it. And I'm amazed at how many people just, that like to rebuild their stuff way more often than they should, because rolling back to what I talked about a couple minutes ago, when you find what the problem is, it's generally what you just touched. So that's why I would say avoid working on your bike when you can. If you don't work on it, let's think. And Ron was late to the show. When's the race? The Nora Mexico 1000 is the last week of April, first week of May. And entries open on the 1st of January, and hopefully we'll have some news to announce soon. we're trying to get down there to actually they're pre-running. They're doing some pre-running logistical stuff, I believe, right now this week down there, and we'll get some information back on where we are going to go. But it's going to be hopefully all new. And Connor, yes, you won. So you'll have to listen to the podcast. So hopefully that gave you wood. And with that, I think we are going now that everybody's joining in. I think we're going to go ahead and close this show down. I'd like to thank Jerry Bernardo from representing the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. That's induction ceremony this year is at February 1st down in Fremont Street in Las Vegas at the Gene Woods Go-Kart Experience. So come down and see a bunch of motorcycle people and say hi to us down there. There's go-kart racing. I'll be doing some of that. And awesome. So with that, everybody, say hell to Brazil. Oh, shoot. Shirt pictures. Ron, hold on. There's a new segment of the show. We were just going to shut it down, but now we're going to do shirt pictures. I think I put those. I think I did this. No, that's not the right screen. So I think I had shirt pictures. I'm going to go ahead and just drag them into this one right here. So Ron sent his t-shirt in. There's Ron's t-shirt. Did we do this already? Yeah, I think we showed his t-shirt. There's Ron at the KTM factory in Mattighoven wearing his Tech Talk Taco Tuesday t-shirt next to Fabrizio Mioni and the KTM. You know what's funny is I want to say 950, and I can't tell if that's that looks like a single cylinder bike. So, yeah. Ron, thank you for sending that photo in. I'm gonna find the shirt that I like, the best shirt photo that I like the best. And then Tony sent his shirt photo in too. There's Tony. He's trying to show off his hairstyle there. But I think what he's really trying to show off is that cool number plate sticker. So that's Tony showing off his Tech Talk Taco Tuesday shirt. Appreciate it, Tony. He said there was 175 mile an hour winds up on the ridge, and it almost blew him over. But with that nice sticker on your KTM, that's why that bike stays pretty good there. Now it looks like you're at the Mattighoven factory standing next to Fabrizio Mioni with the fan going really hard. So thank you for reminding me of that. I was gonna send something out to somebody for the best t-shirt. So Arrow from Brazil, say hello. Arrow, yeah. It'll only take 5 times to type it. The keyboard's not be very good down there in Brazil. So I haven't started picking on the Brazil people just yet. I'll get to you though. The Canadians can tell you all about it.
Is it upside down?
They're upside down in Brazil?
Well, it's on the other side, right?
It is on the other side, yeah. So they are upside down. Yeah. He wants to know if I like the KDX 200. And yeah, I used to race a KDX 200. And he has the 1995 model. KDX Off-Road does. Really hard to tell based on your name that's what you have. I used to race a KDX 200 instead of my KX 250 when I rode for Kawasaki and when I rode for Team Green. Which, why did I do that? Because I liked the way the KDX handled. The chassis for me, I could, especially in tighter stuff like Enduros, I could really get that thing to do work. Okay, so again, thanks to Jerry, thanks to Gene Woods, thanks to Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, thanks to Yamaha, thanks to Taco Moto for sponsoring Roost or Endo. Send in your submissions to Roost or Endo. It's really simple. Send me a photo of your bike. Tell me what you've done to it. Make the picture good, and we'll put it up there, and the one that gives us the most enjoyment will win, kind of like Connor did. And with that, we will see you out in the trail. So cheers.